He was going ape shit. Where everybody at, man? All right, man. Listen, I'm about to get into today's lesson. I don't care who in here, who not in here. We just about to start rocking and rolling, man. I call that the honey smoothie. I mean honey orange smoothie. I'm gonna write that in the chat just to start this off. My honey. No, I call it orange honey. Honey smoothie. So I just made my first time making my orange honey smoothie, and it's really 50-50, half and half, half tangerine, half orange. Um, what I found is the oranges at farmers market are way sweeter than the tangerines. Tangerines taste kind of watered down. Neither one of them have any seeds in it, so it's like both are just really not really the real thing. But shout out to one view, what's going on, man? So they're both not really the real thing, but at least they have some type of um, nutrients. I feel way healthier because the options in the refrigerator was all over the place, and I had to make a decision. And I had to either I was going to eat some fruit, or I was just gonna, mess up my pyramid diet. And again, I don't like to do that because I feel like I always speak for the people who don't got a lot of money, and are not good with getting jobs. I'm myself. I'm getting better at these things, and a lot of y'all feel like really trapped and like kind of like you got to eat what's in the kitchen and shit like that. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the healthiest thing. So if you really pay attention to the game like diet, you'll see that the fasting comes first, which is restraining from food in general. Retaining from food, whatever you want to call it. Fruit will never be healthier than fasting. Fasting is healthier than fruit. Um, and then you got the fruit, and then you got the other stuff. So, but like I said, in terms of health, you just gotta always think like, man, like less is more, and you know, fruit and herbs are typically your best bet. But anything outside of that is probably gonna be crazy. I'm gonna jump right into the topic, probably in like another minute. I just want to finish up what I'm saying. Um, I also got these waters right here. Also got these waters. I got a pack of these waters from Trader Joe's. Um, I literally got like 6 more left, and I just been trying to like I've been trying to be more like witty with my choices of food diets and things that I'm trying to do. Right? How can you spend the most less money? How can you spend the less amount of money but still have a very very keen, sharp, smart um, diet plan? Like, how can you do that? Right? When your body isn't fit and when your body is in check, you're naturally going to want to work out. Or, to me, workouts don't have to be any deadlifts. Like, I don't even like the name of that. To me, workouts, that's for when you're really, really, really in the game. But, you know, workouts to me is like punching a tree or something. Like, I mean, I got gloves, I got tape for the gloves. Punch a tree, that's a great workout. Just a regular, typical walk, that's a great workout. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to do anything that you see other people doing. That's just the way life works for some reason. For me specifically, like I don't have to do anything I see other people doing. Um, so yeah, don't bite off more than you can chew. But besides that, mm, yeah, work with what you got until you could get what you really want to have. What's going on, one viewer? Thank you for the like, man. Um, get what you can get, and we're just talking about food, and then we're gonna hop right into the topic. But like I said, I got this from Trader Joe's. I got a whole pack of these, and I just, like I said, man, I actually was kind of messing up earlier, kind of messing up my diet, and that's why I felt like, man, I gotta make a split decision. Honestly, if I didn't make this smoothie, I probably wouldn't even be making this video right now because my energy just came back up based off of what I just ate. So that's why food is so important. It's like you be in a deadly cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're either rotating on this side or rotating on this side. And God gives you free will to choose every day what you gonna do. Are you gonna drink water? Or are you gonna drink soda? Both the options are right in the crib of where I live. Both the options right there. What you gonna do? Like I just went in the kitchen right now. You gonna try to be sneaky. Thank you for the 2 likes. What's going on with y'all? You're gonna try to be sneaky, and you're gonna try to cheat your pyramid diet, your game like will pyramid diet. You're gonna try to cheat it, and you're gonna go in there and you're gonna try to eat um, Hodge Dodge ice cream. Now I didn't buy none of this, but it's in there. But you see what I'm saying about your situation could really be like a trap for real, because I get these sudden urges, right? Because we all grew up around the Krausers or some shit. I get these sudden urges to just go and grab like a little kid and just like fuck it. Ain't nobody gonna know. But your nervous system knows. Your nervous system does not lie. It feeds. It's literally gonna mirror, just like a woman is gonna just feed back to you whatever you do. So it's like you can't cheat your neurology. Like, and I think that's one thing that I can't speak for every race, but like the race that I grew up in, race of people, we're cheap. We're. I can't speak for everybody in my race, but like like just how I grew up in general, it was like, bro, I personally feel I could get away with certain shit, but that shit catch up to you, bro. I'm 29, about to be 30 in a year, and you know, we have to just prioritize our diet. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about this channel, it really helps me stay focused, and that's what a lot of people don't know. Like, I haven't even been live in a couple of days, but you know, this channel keeps me kind of like mentally preoccupied. Boredom could kill somebody too. Just being bored could get you to go in the refrigerator, do something that you're gonna regret. And just time, like that's another topic I want to talk about another day. But it's so important that you know we start to manage time, because you either gonna manage time or time's gonna manage you. Like, that's what I found out about time. Time ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on, the great? How you doing, brother? I ain't never see you in here. I like that name though. Let me see what Alexander said, man. Uh, you see, I got that big energy though, because I just ate an orange and I got my new orange honey smoothie that I just concocted. I'm gonna come out with a cookbook at one day. I'm gonna make a cookbook, and y'all gonna be able to get any female y'all want. Y'all just gonna have to let them know, like, hey, I got a cookbook from Game Like Will. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be mad vegetarian options. It's gonna be mad different, like little, just for like sexy shit, like shit that if you put it together, a female gonna be like, damn, like how you know how to really, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. Help as well. Um, my girl told me it's not. Wait, it's not her. Wait, what? My girl told me it's not me, it's her. I know it's me. You're hilarious, bro. I know this is a joke. Are you joking? Are you serious? Alexander, where you from, bro? Where you from? I'm about to start asking people when they come in here where y'all from. I'm very much so a scientist at heart and a geographical type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I just realized about myself. I'm like, as I got older, I'm like really born in a little neighborhood. But, when you become a man, especially a man's man, you gotta just know about, certain type of shit. Oh, Chirac. Okay. I respect it. I respect it. That's what she told you? Um, then let her go. I'm a firm believer. No, I ain't gonna say it like that. I feel like, you know, when I was younger, I cheated on my girl and I got caught. And that shit felt like shit, man. That shit, man. That's why I just had to just double back on what I just told you, because that shit literally, like, when I got caught, like, I just felt guilty. But then as I really started to realize I really hurt her, and that she was really like kinetically moving as if like she was still around me, and showing that she was mad, right? Now that I'm older, I know that that means that she's probably not going nowhere. But when I was younger, right, like high school, like freshman year, sophomore year, some shit, I really thought she was leaving, you know what I'm saying? And that shit really broke me down on some crazy shit. But I think I got deeper issues, Most of us have abandonment issues. So having a female that you develop feelings for walk away from you so abruptly, or threaten to walk away from you so abruptly, it doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. But now that I'm older, I know, um, obviously from what I'm saying, y'all can tell I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So like, yeah, this is why I tell people, man, you gotta really have a strong sense of self, and you can't be jumping into relationships, because that shit is exactly what um, uh, uh, certain people want certain people to be doing at an early age, so they could just ruin the rest of your life. Um, it's a real sticky situation. Relationships ain't to be played with. It's not to be fucked with. Relationships is something that you must honor and respect, and it's something that you must know what you're getting into, just like a gang or anything else. So now that she's keeping it 100 with you, and she's telling you that it's not you, it's her, um, and you're asking a question, right? You're like, yo, how do I get her back? I'm taking it that way that you're asking it that, like, yo, how do I not stop her from walking out the door? I don't know if I would stop a girl from walking out the door who said that to me. When I was younger, like I said, I would obviously try to do it. Now that I'm 30 next year, I, I mean, less is more and more is less. But sometimes more is more and less is less. And this is my quote. One day, in the Guinness Book of Dating Coaches, is going to have my face in there, and it's going to say less is more and more is less. But sometimes more is more and less is less. And it's so obvious, but it's not obvious that why would guys who are rich get richer and guys who are broke stay broke? Why would pimps, you got 20 women with you. You come around my girl. She's a nerd. She don't even want a pimp. But when he start talking to her, he can impact her in such a way that he could get that ass. How? I thought she was loyal. I thought she was a nerd. I thought she liked books. What is she what is she doing? You know, and biology is what is she doing? She's doing biology. Everything in life is science and biology. Everything is biology. Everything is biology. And so this goes back to why I said, why would I pick the certain foods that I pick when I go in the kitchen, when I could eat anything in the kitchen? There's a bunch of bullshit in the kitchen to pick from. But as men, we must make sound decisions, bro. Rational, sound decisions. I hate how much of a man I am because that means that there's no shortcuts. I don't live the almost like it's like I'm living a second life now. I lived 20 years of confusion, being around my sister and my mother, then my nephew and my niece, and a bunch of friends who also, you know, fathers wasn't necessarily present. You know, what for whatever reason, right? And we became our own fathers. We told each other what was cool and what wasn't cool, and what was the standard and what wasn't the standard. But it was a real ravenous, emotional, toxic thing to do. But that's all we knew. But when you learn a logical thing, like for instance, if someone tells you like, "Yo, um, guns hurt," you know, you shouldn't play with guns. You know, that don't mean don't touch them. See, that's what the women. That's what women here like. Stay away. Stay out the streets. Don't go nowhere around other men. Just be a woman now. What men here is like, yo, let me get my gun license, on my birthday, and let me start shooting at, moving targets. Let me start hunting. Let me use my imagination and, make up for what I can't do type shit. Good. And that's the only way I know how to be, bro. I'm an optimistic person and I look forward to things. Um, had I had picked up the the Haagen Dazs ice cream in the refrigerator, I would not be making this video. I only got the energy to make this video because I made a rational decision. I don't really feel like eating these oranges, these bullshit ass oranges that's in the fridge, but let me make a smoothie out of it. Let me find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let me find a way. Let me find a way. And that's what men do. We find a way. Even when it don't seem like there's a way. And what I'm saying, bro, is that I'm not telling people to be a pimp. I'm not telling people to be a ladies' man. Because I know that's what I know that's what the the idea is or whatever. I just want people to be better people, and I want to be a better person, man. I really don't. I can't tell you what to do, great, because I don't know what you should do. I really don't know what you should do. There's so many things you can do. Like I just made a video the other day on openers, and I probably seen it. And still, okay, there's 10 openers there, but that doesn't mean when you walk up on a female or you see a female tomorrow, you're going to do anything, because it's way deeper than that. You may not feel connected to what you think. Just because you think something don't mean you feel connected to what you're thinking. I may want to set up a tent and go live in a tent. But did I really think about the fact that, did I really think about black bears? Did I really think about foxes? Did I really think about bobcats? Did I really think about the shit that rational? Did I really think rational, or was it emotional? Or was it just a knee jerk reaction? Was it the little kid in me say, "Oh, I just want to do this"? You have to sit down and ask yourself. You have to develop a relationship with yourself. If you're lost, you know the woman's lost. If she's dating you and you're lost, you know that the woman's lost. Women are naturally lost. That's why they reach for men for guidance. Little kids and women are always lost. And both of those creatures look to men to turn the lights on. We are the light. We are the fucking light. You'll never rule a woman unless you could let her go and say, "Get the fuck out of here. I don't want you anyway, bitch. Get out of my face. I never liked you anyway." I'm just saying, bro. Emotional mastery beats all the other shit I could think of right now. Now my mind won't don't I don't know what you should do. I just know that women don't leave certain people, and they don't make excuses for certain people. Even with sex, like if they meet somebody and they want to have sex, they'll do anything to show that guy that they want to have sex, even if they're in front of their boyfriend. I was in Chipotle like yesterday or the day before that, and this girl was with her boyfriend and stuff, and I feel like she was just like giving me like choosing signals, and I'm not like a choosing signal type of guy. I just started really looking at that for real, because I never really used to go off of it. I used to just go off of my approach. I used to just approach like, I don't care if you choosing me or not. I'm choosing you. You feel me? But since I created this channel, I've been looking at what other dating coaches talk about, and I've been taking them a little bit more serious and looking at their videos. And it really dawned on me like, dang, like Shorty was with her boyfriend and she really was kind of like choosing like women do a lot of little subtle things, and so if you're not looking, you won't see it because it's subtle. But because I'm kind of relaxing and kind of looking at things, I'm kind of seeing it like, damn, like, you know. So you gotta understand, man. Life is a game, man. It's a game. Like you can't really hold on. Relationships are bullshit, bro. It's gonna always end in a tragedy unless you really got game. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't even supposed to talk about that in this video. We're okay. We're on 23. But yeah, man, that's facts, man. Like you gotta understand, like dominance is the only way, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I hear so many people talk about like, oh, women choose up. They leave a guy for another guy. Like this, is what that sounds like, Alex. This is exactly what it sounds like. Like it's somebody else that's in her life. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is, but it don't matter who it is. Yeah, this channel is like kind of like more like specific for like certain type of people. I know I'm a relationship coach, but it's like it's not necessarily set up for um, that. Like I said, let her go, man. That's my opinion. But you don't gotta listen. I know that's your girlfriend, and I know that you're not gonna listen. So just try to just keep things together. Try to keep it together, and try to see how she feel. But man, listen, I think that shit, man. Listen, I don't know. I don't. I never spoke on this type of topic yet because all my topics are uplifting because like or on positive notes because women don't really be quitting me like that. You feel me? They don't be quitting me because there's just no reason to. Like I know shit happens and shit like that, but it's no reason to. Like um when you I feel like when you're a player or some type of like smooth guy, women don't really do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't really let you go because how they gonna let somebody go if you're not really taking them that serious? Like you're all the way in. Like you sound like you don't got no mission. You sound like you don't got no purpose, and you're not really driven to be like you have no goals. Like because a woman can't really do that for yeah. That's my take on it, man. But man, this video is supposed to be about be her excitement, man. Be a woman's excitement. You know what I'm saying? Be a woman's excitement. Be a amusement park to her. And earlier I was making some notes, and I feel like this, man. How can you be amusing to a woman? And I'm gonna start with saying there's two ways to do that. There's two ways to be amusing to a woman, and I'm talking about like all women. Like if we're going to look at like everybody lives in a certain city, everybody lives in a certain city, and so if you live in a city, what you have to do, if you live in a city, what you have to do is think about the fact that there's women in your city. And because there's women in your city, excitement starts at the very beginning of the interaction. Excitement starts before you even walk up to the woman. How do you be an amusement park to a stranger? You have to already be amusing yourself. You have to have amusement within your soul in your own house, right? This is my room right here. I'm in it, square room, right? Amusement is already something that is could be I could be self-amusing. Let me put that in the chat. That's rule number one. If I want to amuse you, if I want to amuse anybody, I didn't even see what Alexander was saying. I think this is all either new. He either just said this or he was talking the whole time and I didn't see none of that. He said, she said I could be perfect, but she would still be not be satisfied. She's just saying anything because like, what do you mean I could be perfect? I am perfect. So she already out of line talking about anything. She's saying anything, bro. She's just stringing you along and trying to let you down softly. You know what I'm saying? He said, I passed up so many bad females for her. That was a big mistake, buddy. I'm pissed. I should have cheated. You don't even gotta cheat. You just gotta be smooth. And you gotta let women know off the bat, like, yeah, I do got other women. Be honest. Don't cheat. That's what I did. Go for the quiet type, nobody else would like type shit. Exactly. The safe girl ain't shit safe. Exactly. Biology ain't safe. Nature ain't safe. You know, life ain't safe. Life is very, very devious and cunning, and it only really supports the other cunning brothers and sisters of the most cunning high. So you gotta actually understand that and just, instead of either watching cartoons or religion, watch the animal channel. Watch more of like YouTube channels. Watch more about animals and how animals operate, and it'll kind of show you the gist of how we're nothing different than people think humans and animals are different, and that's why they get slimed and snaked out. Uh, I had five brothers and a dad plus stepdad. Oh, that's what's up, bro. I appreciate the information. Uh, so you're probably a stand-up guy, morals, and like a trustable guy and stuff like that. It was very good, but again, being a nice guy um, is good for something, but it's not good in terms of like, it's not the all end all be all in the dating realm. So first, okay, let me get back to the point. I want to be an amusement park to women. So the first thing I want to do is I want to self amuse. People think that they're self amusing themselves by going to get cigarettes. So you got unhealthy self amuse and you got healthy self amuse. You got going to get cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Chasing ass, uh, uh, porn, uh, like quick pleasures. Whatever is a quick pleasure, this is how the matrix work. I'm just decoding it for y'all. Whatever is a quick pleasure is typically going to be linked to a consequence or some form of karma. But true self amusement is fasting. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but it's fasting. It's the things that you actually have honor about. It's the things that may not feel the best at first, but they make you feel better later. You know what I'm saying? Going to sleep on time. You know what I'm saying? Healthy habits. You know what I'm saying? There's so many healthy habits that we're gonna have a video on that soon. But I want to just show you the neural link between healthy habits and self amusement. So we're not going to go into the stuff that's, because everything is collateral damage. If you're eating right, talking right, feeling right, thinking right, um, learning things, like a lot of the day of my life, I'm learning things. Like I'm not listening to like music all day. I'm not like I'm learning things. I'm like, I'm actually like interested in certain things. I'm actually like fasting. I'm actually thinking. I'm actually getting like sleep. I'm actually, just trying out different shit, problem solving and shit. And this is self amusing. It might not sound self amusing, but it is self amusing. So, why is this collateral damage? Because when you get in front of a female, she's going to be at the mercy of how I treated myself, a week before or weeks ahead of time. So, by me drinking my orange honey smoothie and getting that vitamin D, and drinking my new water from Trader Joe's and getting that getting those electrolytes. And you know, I am what? I'm training my body to be healthy, and I'm also what? Putting fuel in my tank that it says, okay, well, since you put fuel in the tank, you don't have to go eat anything else or go try out some bullshit in the kitchen. You don't gotta do that because you were smart or wise enough to eat something that was, you know, a little bit more healthy for you. So that's self-amusing to me. Y'all can define self-amusement to yourself, right? There's many things though that's self-amusing to me. Now, again, you have a gradient of things like listening to music. It's not the music, it's what type of music are you listening to, right? You could listen to rap, you could listen to Tupac, but why you want to listen to the Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up song? I mean, it's okay if you skim through it, but listen to the songs where he's being poetic and learn something from everything, right? How did he say this? Why was his mouthpiece like that? How was he able to be poetic? And how was he able? What is this called? Oh, this is called this. Um, when it comes to poetry, this is called that. Or when it comes to this, so I can what incorporate this in the game when I talk to a female, right? When I go up to a female and I open up a conversation, instead of me just being one dimensional and just talking from my like just like by me just being like a fucking one dimensional creature and shit, let me expand my mind. Let me use the music for a purpose, right? Instead, so I'm getting two in one. I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm not just listening to a guy that's the same color as you, a guy that's a well-renowned, you know, one of the best rappers in the world, but I'm actually listening to deeper into the music. You know, you may go painting, you may go jogging, you may go for a walk. Hey, ooh, my boy Fax was good, buddy. We chilling in here, man. We vibing, bro. I feel like I'm kicking the most game and nobody's in here. Like it was somebody in here. It was like a couple people in here earlier, but I feel like I'm kicking the most game. Like just like somebody gonna watch this video back anyway. But it's just like you know, I started off talking about my smoothie because I made like I call it an orange honey smoothie. You know, and like I said, I'm gonna make a cookbook at some point. The the GLW cookbook, and it's gonna be cool because like y'all gonna be able to really invite the females over and really whip up a meal and really you feel me. So vegetarian style though, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be certain stuff in there y'all gonna like though. But yeah, we're talking about how to be an amusement park to a woman, man. And at the end of the day, I talked about all the stuff that amuses you first, right? You got unhealthy things that amuse you, and you got healthy things. You got what I write down. You got cigarettes. You got that's unhealthy. You got porn, unhealthy. Quick pleasures. Anything that's a quick pleasure. Potato chips. Um, arguments, debates. Oh no, that's lit, bro. That's lit. We need you in the game. We need you in the game, bro. I'm out to really promote vegetarian more. I'm out to really promote the fruitarian diet. Me, I'm mixed, right? Mixed breed. Like I'm like the game like Will diet. I explained it. Y'all know what it. Y'all know how that is. It's fasting is at the bottom. Then you got like breath work, like yoga, breath work type shit, meditation type shit. Things that's healthy for basically using the air as an element. And then above that, you got fruit. You know, the best thing on earth. And then you got the other stuff, which would be the fancy stuff. So if I invite a girl over, I might not just eat an apple with her, you know. I might actually make like a pasta or like a salad type of or like some type of just like some something to make her say, wow, this guy really fed me type shit. So that's another thing, right? Amusing, right? So when I'm talking to a female, I'll bring that up real quick, like, oh, what do you like to eat? Or what's your favorite, What's your favorite food place? She might say some bullshit. Then I get to what? I get to, debate her. Oh, that's nasty. Da, da, da. I get to do that. These are all things that's going to amuse a woman. Being her amusement park. Shout out to Two Views. How y'all doing, man? Um, being her amusement park means so many things that this video could literally be a fucking seminar, but we're just gonna go for like 2 hours, probably three at the most, and try to get in and out, right? So rule number one is self-amuse. That's what I'm going with this, right? Because this is my life, like in my real genuine life, like and me as a dating coach, lifestyle coach, that's integrally what I think. Like if I'm hitting the gym, what am I doing? You know that feeling when you leave the gym. You know that feeling when you leave the gym. You like, man, I don't care if she don't fuck with me. Like you about to approach, and then if she say no, you're like, damn, fuck it. But what you just got done doing, self-amusing. The gym is a multifaceted thing. Yes, you're working on your body and you're also getting self-amused. Right now, I'm self-amusing myself. Whenever I do what I'm passionate about, I'm self-amusing myself. This shit is so fun to me, right? This channel that I'm doing, this channel is funner than my last channel. My last channel was all about religion and stuff, but this channel is 10 times funner because I'm very passionate about dating and I'm very passionate about what it is. But I'm so passionate to the point where even if I make a video and I don't think it's that good, I'm still gonna put it up and I'm still gonna keep it pushing because the information matters more than me. It's bigger than whether I have a good haircut or I have a good outfit. Like so, I was listening to a Tupac song earlier, and what I realized, I'm like, yo, why was this guy so dope? Like, why was he able to touch people like this? Cause like I'm listening, I'm like, yo, this is really like one of the best. Like, and he was poetic. But one thing about Tupac was he was passionate. It's the passion and the way he said the words that hit you in a way where no one else could do it. And so again, when you're talking to women, it's your voice tone, right? It's all the seductive stuff we talk about. The seduction, all the stuff that we talked about that last time we was live are the things that's going to actually be amusing to the woman. And I could break this shit down into a science too because excuse me, I could break it down into a science because there's a science, there's a process, right? Excitement is very important. Excitement. But we're gonna talk about that another time. So that's number one, the self-amusing. Self-amusement, right? Um, that's how you're going to indirectly amuse the woman, right? Also, that's rule number one because when you first talk to a woman, she's looking directly at your character. Like I'm just gonna be honest, she's looking directly at your character. She's not looking at nothing else. Maybe look at your outfit, your teeth, or something like that. Whatever features subconsciously she's been trained to think matter. But right directly after that is when the game is really on. And what she's looking at to see is what type of guy are you? What type of nigga is you? That's exactly what she thinks. Are you strong? Are you solid? Are you bold? Are you brave? Like it's funny because I don't not even a big fan of Andrew Tate, but most of the character traits that Andrew Tate got. And a lot of YouTubers though, but really if you look at Andrew Tate is a better example because he's somebody who I feel like was a geek in high school. So he might not have always been so outspoken and bold, but she's thinking this like if you go to order your Chipotle, are you gonna speak up and order it like a man? Or are you gonna kind of waver in your confidence? Or like she's scanning for these type of like little like subtle little qualities like and if you speak like profoundly and if you speak with a nice voice and you do certain things, you will evoke an emotion or a reaction out of a woman. You can't get them all, but the ones that's looking are gonna be looking for these things. So that's where it starts. It starts right there. And when you go up to her and you approach her, or you start flirting with her, or you open up a conversation, all the little shit that you say is going to do a calculation or an algorithm. It's going to either add the fuck up and make her laugh, or make her blush, or make her think, or make her smile, or make her. It's going to either make her do something, some type of process, some type of biological process. It's either going to, it's going to stimulate her or it's not. Or you're going to be quiet, weird, cringy, avoidant, and up in your head. These are the two pathways, fellas. That's the only two, actually. Because what she's saying is, okay, I like him, but do he like me? Or, okay, I think I like him, but do he like me? But not only do he like me, right? That's just the front thing that she's feeling, right? Okay, it's like you're forcing her to think because you're being a certain type of way. But not only do he like me, but is he able to catch on that I'm making myself available to get crushed? This is what I'm talking about the roller coaster. I'm talking about the beginning though. I'm taking it through the phases, but this is just when you meet her. Like, of course, it doesn't matter because, again, you could flirt with a female who don't like you, and you could start to turn her on. You could turn on a woman who doesn't have any preconceived notions at all about you and don't really care to know you, don't care about you, don't. She probably think that she don't like you, but you can start to turn and churn that wheel because your life is your life and it's your reality. And this is what people talk about when they talk about frame, because it's honestly frame versus frame. You know, she may be looking at you funny. She may be like, I would never, or blah 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 blah. But it all equals an outcome at the end of the day. You just got to be willing to look at it. The fact that you even have a preconceived notion of me lets me know that I'm in. I just don't know I'm in. And that's where a lot of guys, they're not gonna what? They're not gonna flirt. They're not gonna say nothing. They're not gonna do nothing, and that's gonna make shit go dead. Because again, every woman is asking the fundamental question: can he read the room? For better or for worse, fellas. Because if you can't tell that I like you, it's probably a lot of shit you can't tell. But can you read the room? Because whether I like you or not is not the argument. The argument is, are you able to lead the situation towards a certain outcome? It may, for better, again, for better or worse. Whether I want you to crush or not, can you lead this shit a certain way? Yes or no? And that's what women are looking at. Guys are so in their heads and feelings, one or the other fellas, that they never go with any move. That's the poison right there. It's not what move did you go with. You didn't go with no move. That's what I'm trying to say. You so busy thinking she give a fuck about you. You so busy thinking she reading your mind and she knows you and she cares and she remembers, and this is a stranger, but she remembers. She don't know you. And because she don't know you and she smells fear, what type of respect? The respect gets sacrificed. And I'm just giving y'all a rundown real quick because I'm showing y'all if respect is sacrificed, then there's no way that you're going to be an amusement park for a female. That's all I'm trying to really say. Because if you could make me respect you, then how can I neglect you and respect you? I can't. I can't. So you're putting her in a quandary. You're putting her in a pickle. You're putting her in a situation. And this is what gets them hot. This is what gets them not mad, not hot as in mad, but hot as in what? Hot. A biological term of endearment. I don't know if that's literally what I wanted to say, but somewhere around those locations, right? I look at a female, right? I'm in the store ordering a burrito. The girl behind the counter, she's looking at me, but she's looking like she kind of like this guy. I don't know about this guy. Most guys take that as she knows. Nah. Most guys take that as like, hey, I must be a bitch ass nigga, or I must not be a fitting, or I must not be uh, that guy, quote unquote. I seen someone make a video yesterday. They said how to be that guy. That's what they're thinking of. Like, I must not be that guy because Miss Random that I just met today is looking at me some type of way. I'm ordering a burrito and she's looking at me like I'm like disgusting. So she's looking at you like you're disgusting. Maybe you are disgusting. Does that mean that she won't get disgusting with you? It don't mean that. But people are so used to, okay, we're as creatures, we're judgment first creatures. We judge first. If I see a bear, I'm gonna judge first. I see a lion, I'm gonna judge first. I see a stranger, I'm gonna judge first. We have preconceived notions about Americans have preconceived notions about every fucking thing. So what women gonna think? They gonna think whatever the fuck pop in their head. There ain't no fucking telling. It's really a random shot in the dark. So what I'm saying is that what gets them hot? You want to get her hot. If you know anything about biology, you want to get her hot, whether it's mad or just sexually, because all these things are kind of under the same program. Like which way this shit, no matter which way this shit cooked, she's getting cooked. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. See, I'm trying to show y'all how this shit work, man. This shit working, and it work in a mysterious way, kind of like God. Man, I love chemistry. I love science. I love this shit. So you'll go into a big place or a place where you're going to get your food, and you'll wonder. It's about 8 women in here. You'll say to yourself, "Why are all of them doing like?" I went inside Chipotle the other day. It was like 8 women in there. I'm like, they're all doing something different, but they're all kind of in line. So they're all doing they're all like kind of in their own little head doing something different, their own little world type shit. And I'm like, if you really, me becoming a dating coach is kind of funny because like I'm really kind of like really looking this time. Like all my life I kind of just go get the food, but now I'm really like fucking looking at shit. And I'm not making it noticeable that I'm looking, but I'm peeping every fucking thing. And I'm just like, okay, this girl choosing. This woman is kind of just kind of getting me my food and kind of vibing. You know, this person's doing whatever. This girl's boyfriend is kind of like funny enough when his girlfriend kind of like looked at me and I was just didn't even look back. I just was like, okay, she looked good. I noticed out of the corner of my eye like she looked good, but I'm not even that's like you're like the if I'm gonna get anything, it's probably not you because your boyfriend's right there. But in reality, that's not even true. Like, cause she was the one giving me choosing signals. But then her boy, when she walked, cause she had to like so when you're getting the Chipotle food, the line there's no room to get past one another. So she kind of looked at me and was like, "Excuse me, I got to get around you," but it was like a flirty like. I want you to see me type shit. Like I don't really like my boyfriend type shit. So I'm making an excuse so you can give me some attention of yours because you look good to me type shit. But I could be right or wrong, but this is my choosing signal, in my opinion, from her because it's like all choosing signals look different, and they all are different. And women are so sneaky that they don't drop the handkerchief no more. They just do something, and whatever they do, is under interrogation in my eyes, because me becoming a dating coach means that I can't let anything slide. Um, but later down the line, if I realize that, I'm tripping, I'll just be honest and say, nah, I ain't gonna choose the signal. But I think that's my personal opinion, right? And when I look back at high school and just look at how women act, like, you feel me? Even when I just look at how women act, because when I was younger, I was more likely to look at shit like that. But as I got like older, I wouldn't look at no choosing signals. But yo, why they gotta be yelling, bro? Fuck. Can I ever make a live and or a video and no one's just like, can I just get an hour? Can I just get 2 hours? Fuck. Nah, but yeah, that's my version of a choosing signal. From it's little things like trying to walk in your pathway, trying to stand in front of you. Like they do the most weirdest shit. And again, I notice it because I was raised by women. I still live with it. I see shit. I know what women do. And not saying family members be attracted to you, but they are women, so they still do the same type of shit. Like if they want attention or they want you to talk to them, they're not going to just say, "Hey, I want you to talk to me." They're going to literally, they're going to induce a conversation. The word induce means force. They're going to force a conversation. Um, my mom literally did that earlier. Like she know I tell her like knock on the door, don't just walk in. She's just gonna walk in because she know like I could probably talk longer to him if I get him mad. So like that's just some narcissistic shit. But and under my interpretation, in America, 99% of women are narcissistic. That's how I see it. So they all do the same shit. But anyway, so if they see a guy like me looking cocky, I walk in there with my little black sweats on and my little cap on and shit, and I'm out to get some food. These women is looking at me. They thinking like, who the fuck is this guy? And I'm just grabbing my food, and I really don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck to almost probably to a point where it's unrealistic. And I know that's gonna trigger a lot of things and just a lot of people in general, but especially women, they're gonna be like, well, I'm the cocky motherfucker. Who is he? I could fuck anybody and my pussy tight. Who is he? Who is this guy? And that's just naturally what evokes, what I'm saying? This is naturally what comes out of them and shit like that. But you know, it has no power over me though now, because now that I do the dating coach and stuff, it's just a joke, bro. These women are a fucking joke. But and remember, if she'll cheat on her boyfriend, she ain't shit anyway. But it's all good. It's respectable though, cause like, and when I say she ain't shit, it don't mean like she's the scum of the earth, but it's just like, you know, how you get a woman is how you lose a woman a lot of the time. Shout out to two views. How y'all doing, man? Welcome to the chat. So yeah, it starts how you feel about yourself. The excitement starts with you, man. We're humans. We start at home. Like first of all, it starts in your childhood. How you was raised. Was your father there? Were you into sports? Are you a cocky guy in general? Like how do you really love yourself? And how was the impressions that came up? Because when I was coming up, a lot of girls liked me, and that shit gave me a confidence, man. It gave me some shit, man. That I just like Little Wayne said, confidence is a stain you can't wipe off. Like you might could muffle the shit, you know, you might could terrorize a nigga for whatever, but he's always gonna come back harder. So it's like what I'm saying is that is it a core belief that you that nigga? Is it or not? And for a lot of people it's not, and that's okay. Because we're gonna have a confidence course too. We're gonna have an inner confidence course and all type of shit. But it's just like biology is biology, and if you really don't feel that way, then you really don't feel that way. But I honestly, because I see it even with my niece, right? My niece is pretty, and like like she's always like a cute little girl, and like since like little, I used to just like kind of like pamper her type shit. Like she got a lot of attention from me type shit. So like I see how she grew up, like where her self esteem is really high. Like it's high because it starts as a kid. Like everywhere I would go, my aunts and stuff would be like, "Oh, you look just like your father. You're so handsome." Like it'd be like that's the shit every time. Like, and I know they do that to everybody and shit, but it's like it's like I felt like I was that nigga. So it's like that shit kind of translate into certain things. And also, I'm a Leo, so we're naturally supposed to be confident. That's what they say. I do think astrology play a big role in, certain people having certain natures about them, certain dispositions about them. So I'm naturally a prideful nigga. So it's like it could be a weakness if a girl figure that out. She could literally just tell me every day, like, "Oh, I love you. Like, you look so good." Da 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 da, and that'll literally fuck me over, like, because I'm a literally like I appreciate those type of things. Like I'm that's how I am. Now it's funny because most humans are that way in general, but again, some people they more lean on that shit. Like that's who they have accepted that as their as them. They lean on those type of things. So that's just a little bit of game and just a little bit of why I feel like, because even in school I noticed it. Like everywhere I go, I kind of like have my not my nose up in the air, but I keep my head up. Like I think I'm him, irreversibly though. Like, and that's a beautiful thing. Like, and it's one of those things that if you don't embrace that and keep it as like a prized possession, people will take a bat metaphorically and crush it. Because it's a competition. Guys want the girl. They want the girl, and the only way to get the girl, I gotta make you think you're not him, so I could, or we're gonna have to fight, or other deeper shit. But like niggas be hating, but it's cool, bro. Like that's life. And where I'm strong, another guy will be. Where I'm weak, another guy will be strong. That's biology. That's how this fuck. That's how nature really works, type shit. So it's just like that's how that shit work. But remember, the name of the game is respect, and how you really amuse a woman off the bat is with respect. That's the key word right now that we're looking at, because biology is all about respect, right? The trees is in respect to the ground is in respect to the dirt is in respect to the sun is in respect to the rain or some shit. Like everything works together. So I needed the people who tried to shit on me in my past. They needed me to be a cocky nigga. But what I'm saying is that shit all work together. Um, at the end of the day, everything works together. You have to understand that 50% of women that you run into, or even a higher percent, are gonna think that you just ain't shit, and they're gonna assume that fuck him. I don't want to fuck with him. That's what I think that women think or feel deep down. But it's cool. They're naturally competitive. Women are competitive creatures, and they're not gonna let anybody play them. They're not just gonna let people play them like that. And I'm not out to play a woman actually, but I'm just saying that's why their guard is up, and that's why you're gonna kind of get swept into. That's why you're gonna kind of get um, prejudged, and whether for better or for worse. Like I said, it could be a girl saying, "Oh, he look cocky. Let me try to give him some dome," or it could be another female that see the same exact thing and be like, "Oh, nah, I don't like them type." She could be triggered by that shit. Like, who he think he is? Like, he not even like that. Like, look at him. Like, and find a bunch of rationalizations of why you're not him. Your job is just to show up like I did at the store, get your food, and leave. Whether, look, I'm big on whether the crowd is clapping for you or they're booing you. Just do you. Like like for me, I went to the store to get food. I went got food. I left. But say I wanted to pick up a female, I'm just going to approach her. I'm just going to approach her, and I'm going to do my approach. Now again, we got indirect versus direct. So maybe today I'm feeling froggy and I want to do the indirect. So maybe I'll practice that, but I'm practicing it, but I'm still doing it while I'm practicing it. So at the end of the day, I take the conversation over the sex or anything. I'm just happy that I'm able to practice what I'm passionate about and possibly make a friend or have a number or whatever. Maybe get some booty pics or whatever. You know, it goes whatever which way it's gonna go. It doesn't matter to me. And that's kind of just me having fun, right? I'm just having fun with the process. And that's kind of what I mean by saying self-amusing, right? I'm self-amusing, like making something out of every travel. If I'm going to get a burrito, yeah, I see a chick with a fat ass. Literally in Chipotle, I seen a chick with the fattest ass, but she was already in the front of the line and she was gonna leave. So it was like, but or maybe you go into the store, you say what's up to five people. It could be guy or girl. You just say what's up or hi or hey or hello. That's self-amusing, right? That's you participating with life. Or maybe, you know, you today you're gonna go to the beach, or maybe today you're gonna go to Trader Joe's, or today you're gonna go to the gym, or you're gonna, just go for 5 minute walk, right? These things are important, but it just depends on how much you want to max out on these activities and hobbies and events. Because when you're doing these things, you're naturally saying, I love myself. Like that's what you're kind of like, indirectly you're saying that. Because you're learning yourself. Every time you get up and go out the house and it has nothing to do with sex or chasing a female, you're getting one step closer to like you. Like you're getting one step closer to you, or you should be at least, because everybody got the same 24 hours, but it's what you do with that 24 hours. I could right now be doing anything, but what I'm doing, I'm promoting and pushing and doing what I'm doing as a dating coach. I'm not worried about no females, at least not directly, not right now. So, all of that shit is when it come. Like, yeah, I got on Facebook Live or Facebook dating earlier, and I scrolled on a couple females, and I texted a couple females back today. But that's that. It's over with. And once it's over with, are you gonna get back in the game and actually? Because first of all, let me keep this shit 1,000 with y'all. Priorities is what I'm about to say next, and I'm gonna give y'all a little story on that because I didn't even get to all the sexual shit that you could do that is like because I know that's what people are probably thinking this video was going to be about, like, but I don't think it's really necessary to really even tap on that because, bro, if you could get a female mentally, it ain't nothing you can't do in the bedroom, and it ain't even like if you got a small wee wee or you fucking nut in 2.0 seconds, you still go. She ain't going nowhere because you hooked her up here. And that's what I'm saying. So number one is self-amusement, and we could go on that for hours, bro. But just remember and mark that down or write that down, whatever. But number two is priorities, bro. And it's a lesson that I learned. And I ain't learned this until I probably like 2 years ago, right? I'm having a conversation with my little cousin, bro. He's only like probably 3 years younger than me right now, or four, maybe even four or some shit. I don't know. But that's my younger cousin and shit. We used to play the GameCube together, Spider Man and all this crazy ass shit. We used to play Tarzan on the GameCube, all type of shit. One of my favorite cousins. So we older now, right? We both living in North Carolina at the time, and we older now. So blah 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 blah. I think I didn't have a job at the time. We were walking by like Target, talking, talking, talking. I'm talking about these females, right? My cousin bust out. He said, yo, cuz, he said, your priorities is fucked. I couldn't even like, bro, like in my mind, I'm like, bro, who the fuck you talking to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but my ego kind of came up, but it kind of bubbled up. But like I knew deep down he was right. Like on a logical level, because even though he's younger than me, he the type of person that he's definitely not going to say it if it ain't true. And he's smart. You know what I'm saying? He a working type of guy, so you know he's an entrepreneur too, but he's the type of person to keep a job, right? So when he said that, you know, it was like a bold truth that I knew I couldn't escape. Like, so I'm like, yo, cuz you crazy, you know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. But I knew deep down, like, damn, he on to something and shit. But you know, he probably watch YouTube and study dating coaches and shit his damn self. But um, yeah, if you watch people like Fresh and Fit or anybody, they will tell you, man, like you got to get your money right. And that's another thing too. Like I know people got this whole tricking mentality, like oh, it's tricking, tricking, tricking. It's not tricking, bro. It's just priorities, bro. It's you understanding, like, bro, 98% of women just they naturally gonna even if they think you cute and then even if they do start fucking with you, like they're not gonna like literally like. I'm not even saying about the respect because to me, I don't tie the money into the like I don't tie money and respect together. I think money could make a female respect you for a moment of time, you know, a period of time. But I think respect is actually an integrity type of thing. It has nothing to do with money. Like it's literally like it's different things like that keep a woman to respect you. Like it could be just you checking her every time she do some dumb shit. You know, it could be the way from the moment of conception of the relationship, like where you lead in the relationship or not, or just like little basic fundamental things. But priorities is important in terms of the amusement park because remember, if you don't got your own place, where the fuck you gonna bring her? If you don't got no money in your pocket, you can't even take her on a date. It's so many women that because I'm not a job type of nigga, but like I'm trying to get a job. But it's so many women that I could be doing so much with right now. Have I had a car and a job and shit like that, which is coming soon. But I'm just saying, like I'm just not slow. Like I know that that's the part of the game. Like you know, because that's not tricking, right? I could scoop you up and take you on a date. It ain't tricking, but it depends on the woman too. Because if the woman think it's tricking, then it might be tricking. Because that's why you can't hang with a woman who only see the world as it's either tricking or not. Because how is it tricking the fact that I got a job is just crazy as fuck. But for some people, that may be their reality. And, you know, I'm not going to try to get you to see it different. You know. So priorities matter because you gotta be able to handle logistics, right? If you can handle logistics, then it makes it 10 times easier for you to keep the excitement high. Keep the excitement high, right? You meet me, I meet you, and I'm flirting with you, right? I'm turning you on. But then all of a sudden, when it's time to link up, you know what I'm saying? Shit kind of, you could, a woman is, they could feel everything, right? So now they feel like, okay, he put me on this roller coaster. He was flirting with me. You know what I'm saying? He was even breaking the touch barrier on the first time talking to me and shit. He got in my ear. He said this. He got my pussy wet. Da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting to the tippy top of this roller coaster, and then he fucking uh, can't follow through because his scooter is broken or some shit. So he's now telling me to pull up on him, and I don't even know him well enough, so I don't want to pull up to his house. Or what type of guy would want? No, the real shit. What type of guy would want a female to pull up to his house first? And I'm not even saying that it ain't real men who do that, right? But those real men are not are those real men get lumped in with the 98% of young boys who don't got no money or know nothing, who can't do nothing. And even if you bring her over and you smash her with the little situation you do got, like she's not gonna be really, really like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't think of the word like she's not gonna fancy that shit like the way she would fancy a guy who's like, hey yo, get dressed, I'm about to pull up. Like literally like bro, I see the differences when I do certain shit. Like when I pulled up on this one chick, like she literally couldn't her whole energy was different. Just like the fact that and I hate the idea that being used. Like we're men, we're supposed to be used. Like what the fuck is going on? Like people got the game backwards, bro. We're supposed to be used, and if we're not being used, we should be useful. We should be able to be used if we want to be used. Like, but if you're just useless and you or you're useful, but you just don't understand logistics and priorities, then it's kind of like women are liable to see you as dead weight, and if they're seeing you as that, then it's going to kill the attraction. So I'm not going to tell you how to be a roller coaster or an amusement park for a woman if you can't get the basics because um, I mean I will go deeper into like some of the sexual stuff, but because you can reverse engineer it too. Because like I ain't always had no job and none of that shit, so I kind of did start from a position of like how to text her and how to do that. So I was like approaching a lot of women before I even had a job, and then I got a job. I definitely was coming in contact with a lot of women like at the job. Like when I was down south, I was like doing the pretzel shit in the mall, bro. That shit ain't even fair. How many women going to come to that shit? Like that shit not even funny. But and I'm giving right now. I'm just giving subtle amusement. I'm not even giving like all the shit that I'll be giving in the videos. Like earlier, I talked about teasing a woman. You know what I'm saying? If you're teasing a woman, you already know that's getting her hot. That's getting her hot. That's getting her biologically. That's naturally teasing her. Like that's naturally getting into her, biological system and making her really think like, damn, like he's provoking me. Like whether I hate him or love him, like I fucking, I don't know type shit. Like you're getting in under her skin type shit. So it's like, we ain't here to like frustrate women, but we here to show them who's who type shit. And again, keep your energy high. And also, cause like, so you teasing a woman, but you ain't drinking the orange honey smoothie. A woman liable to think you really picking on her ass. When you got good energy, it changes everything. Like when you take care of yourself, man. I go back to rule number one: self-amusing, or I mean, that word could be whatever. It could just be self-care, but I really think that's the first step in being that guy. Because like women reading your energy before anything, bro. Like before any fucking thing. Even YouTube reading your energy. Like life is reading. Like biology is reading your shit. Like other people, you go to jail. If your energy low, your head hanging down, you liable to get all type of shit done to you. But if people see that you actually like got your head up and you actually like talking like from your diaphragm and shit, like you could be the skinniest person in the world, but they gonna think you'll stab some shit. They gonna think you'll stab somebody or you're gonna die about it. So it's like the mind state, bro. It's just the POV, the outlook. You know what I'm saying? The perspective. So women notice that too. You know what I'm saying? They notice that, and it just puts you in a powerful position. It just puts you in a powerful position, and it's hard to make a bad play from a powerful position. Like you know what I'm saying? So where are we? Oh, your priorities, man. Logistics, job, school, side hustle, uh, YouTube videos, um, working on your mouthpiece, listening to healing music. I'm saying a lot of the same shit in different ways, but even studying geographical things like, oh, well, when I get about this amount of money, I probably will move over here, or you know, or just getting closer to nature. Also, you may go to the beach. You may just locate the lakes, rivers, and ponds, or just locate like different, like little, like um, anything around your neighborhood that feels like nature. You might want to get in contact with. This is one of the best ways to hit both of these self amusement and priorities. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna help you have a better life. And then yeah, you'll basically stop chasing. Like that's what I'm really trying to get at though. Like with this shit, like it's not what you're doing, it's who you are and how you feel. Like if you're loving yourself, then it's like a paradox. It's like people really confused because they're like, how can somebody be laid back and cool but still be getting a woman? But I'm, you know, don't you gotta try to get the woman? But it's like, nah, you like that's what people mean when they say like, don't try, just do, like type shit. Like it's like I forgot what they call it, spiritual language. Like people say, don't try, just do. Or what Yoda used to say, be with the force. You know what I'm saying? Like be with the force. Like if you're like loving nature and you're prioritizing shit over, and women really end up at the bottom of it. Like I know I made all my content about women for the most part, but I could always fall back on the fact that I'm a lifestyle coach first, and that's very important because to me, because I love women. Hell, I was raised by women, but they're not the end all be all. If you see the whole point of coming to Earth and spawning on the planet is for you to take what you're given and do something with it. That's what God put us here. That's what we spawn here to do. That's what your parents or whoever, whether they meant to do it or not. The real goal in life is like, you know, rub those two sticks together and make a fire, right? Life is chemistry, like life is chemistry at the end of the day. You're supposed to come here, you're supposed to do something, and then you're on your way. You're gonna probably recycle back to this shit, but you're on your way for that time, period. But if you don't do what you came here to do, you probably just gonna get a cog in the engine type of nigga. Like you just probably just beat your meat every night. Just can't, just you got probably got addictions or something. And it's because the karma, right? You got karma because you're having hell on earth. You're not living in bliss. You're not in total bliss. That's another thing women pick up on. They picking up on the subtle shit. They're looking dead at you and saying, okay, winner or loser. Quickly, like a machine, like winner or loser. It's not even funny. Like it's really a mathematics for them for real. That's the only time they logical in their life is when they're looking at us. And they're logical than a motherfucker. But when you start see what makes them emotional is how you talk to them, and you got to know how to be that guy, and that's a different form of seduction and shit like that. But that's a different video. We just talking about on the first meetup, and then we're going towards the relationship phase. All the shit that you could be doing that's making her really on a biological level say, damn, this motherfucker might really blow my back up. That's what we looking at right now. Is your energy right? Yes or no? Checklist. On a scale from 1 to 10, where it says probably at a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some people energy at a 8, at a 9. They still don't know how to talk to women, but they could get the women around them though. They could get the women around them though, like Aiden Ross. He might not can't crank the women that be on his stream, but they gonna be like, okay, that's Aiden Ross, because his energy high. He don't blew up on YouTube. He got himself together. A lot of these YouTubers like Duke Dennis, these YouTubers, they got themselves together. So it's like Kai Cenat, look at him. Perfect example. He couldn't even get a girl in high school or whatever school, college. Like now he been had good energy, but it was like he couldn't do the Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, all that shit. So listen, energy, priorities. Uh, 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 okay, at this point, I'll be honest. At this point, this is where things get a little different because if you're self-amusing every day and every month, every week, you're like doing that, and then you're prioritizing your life. Like you're setting up your life for you to make quantum leaps and make jumps from here to there. You're like, all right, I put a little plan together. I'm really following through on these plans. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this. I'm working hard. I'm putting my all into my purpose or my mission. And you notice that you're still, what I'm saying, at a certain frustrated point where you're not actually. See, for me, I can't speak for frustration because I'm not frustrated. I feel like I'm actually getting shit done. But this channel is helping me though. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my passion. You know what I'm saying? This is my purpose. I feel like I got a lot to do on this channel, a lot of work to do, and I feel like I'm just at the fucking telltale beginning of this shit. And it kind of aggravates me sometimes because I'm like, I could have been a dating coach all my life. You know, not only would I have been further, probably would have had some money in my pocket, but I would have also been like just like better at the game in general, you know. But I'm enjoying the process. That's another thing. Before we go to the next thing, enjoy the process, bro. Like I gotta tell myself that sometimes. Like I said, like I'm in the midst of this shit, but I'm like, yo, like everybody who was a dating coach had to start off at the beginning, bro. Like chill out, like or lifestyle coach or whatever, like or YouTuber in general, like you know, thank God I had other YouTube channels, or I probably wouldn't feel as confident. But I know I can do certain things because I've done certain things. So that comes with the territory. So what are you willing to put in? Right? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to put in to get the life that you want to get? Or are you just being curious about what it might feel like to be an alpha male? Or are you curious about, you know, that's two different people right there. Um, so yeah. Uh, all right. Number three. Number three. I know this shit gonna look funny if someone sees this, but look, y'all gotta really hear me out. Number three is the height. Think about a roller coaster when I say that. Don't think about a human being. I'm not talking about me being 6'2", even though I'm not short. I am like 6'2" or some shit. But when I say the height, at and this is what she's thinking, fellas. Once she sees you, sees that you're not a bum or sees that you're kind of cute or some shit, and then she gets a sniff that he might have a somewhat of a life for something that's important to him. Now I'm gonna dig in. She's gonna be a fear at this point. She's gonna be a fear about it, right? She's gonna dig in. But what is she digging in for? Right? If women are digging in, shouldn't I be smashing? No. Because at this point is where she's really gonna figure out if she wants to, if she's gonna, is it a yes or a no at this point? You know why? Because height means, this is what's going through her mind, fellas. At what is the question in her head? At what height is he flirting with you? Okay, now this is kind of the phase between when you approach and get the number and the phase when you go back to your spot and you text her, say, hey, this is Will from Chipotle. Around this point, fellas, or from the point where she texts you on that dating app and y'all exchange Instagrams and then y'all over on the Instagram, at that point, she's saying, how is he impacting me? Is he impacting? Are you impacting her? Are you impactful? And this is a question y'all gotta ask yourself. Am I impactful? When I trade information with a female and I get back to the crib, am I impactful? Or am I just, you know, a regular guy trying to rap to her, or a rapper or whatever? I'm gonna say rapper. I don't know why I use that term. Like, am I just a regular? Am I a customer? Am I just another guy cog in the engine? Am I just trying to flirt with her? Am I trying to get some quick pussy? Or am I actually trying to be the next guy? put quotations around the next guy, because this is what she's thinking. Is he the next guy? Is he the next guy, or is he just regular, degular Roger, regular, degular, you know, Max? So at this point, she's really looking at the height of how he makes me feel. At what frequency? Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. I'm live. So I'm live. We got to end this shit quick. I don't mix in, drama with business. But anyway, you know, devil try to stop the flow. Anyway, um, how he makes me feel. At what frequency? At what frequency? At what frequency does he make me feel? And this is really going to boil down to the mouthpiece plus the text game, plus the attention. All three of those. And then the physical touch. And the physical touch should come um, early. This is my personal opinion. Early in the process, actually, on the first approach, you should be shaking her hand. On the first approach, you should be shaking her hand. I'm Will. These things that I'm saying are showing her from the beginning that he's different. And that's what we aim for, fellas. That's what we aim for. Circle that. Different. How is he different? How is he different than each and every guy that I've ever, not the ones that's losers, fellas, that I've ever came across? Now remind you, there's many different ways to separate yourself from the masses, from others. It's probably 101 ways, probably more than that, but probably 101 ways to make sure that she sees something in front of her that she's like, okay, I don't know how to a manipulate them, b control them, and all type of shit. Like, and this is important because if I could control or manipulate you, then that does what again? Like in number two when we talked about what you call it? We talked about logistics. If you don't got a car, if you don't got a watch, if you don't got this, you can't pick me up. Then I'm kind of side eyeing you, like why should I? why should I deal with this guy? It's more kind of like a liability type shit. Like you're kind of like, like I don't need you. We're kind of on the same level anyway. Da 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 da. You can't lead me out of captivity. Da 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 da. Excuse me. Number three is you know, if you remind me of every guy I see or I know, then why should I date you, choose you, f you, or marry you, or anything of the upper echelon, stuff? Why should I even give you any of my attention, time? You know, why should I bother? You know, and we in this category, we got some things that are um, how can I say it? We got some more action based things. We got some more how can I say it? I guess character, which is kind of the same. We got action based, character based, and I want to say kinetic or what is it, kinesthetic, or I don't know that word. Basically, like when she looks at you, like we said earlier, kind of like your vibe, the way you dress, your haircuts, like this, like the way you keep up with yourself, type shit. Like that needs to be like original. Like that has to be like you have to kind of like find your own safety net when it comes to like some guys they got a certain haircut. You look at Andrew Tate, you got a certain cut. Like some people they have like traditional style, like how this is the Bobby cut, literally Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the Boosie fade. Like, these things are you marketing yourself to the woman. This is you understanding yourself well enough. Like, you know, I could even say stuff about bean pies, like, because my father was Muslim and we used to eat bean pies growing up. Like, that could be like that could be a marketable territory. Like, that could be a marketable territory. Like things that you could even bring up things from your childhood, things from your past. These things help create, and it goes into the next thing. Like I said, character. Like character is kind of in the middle between the way you look and the actions and the way you act. The actions, the way you look and the actions that you take. So, like for instance, like you know, when a woman get around you, she'll start talking like you. Like I got this one female. She started talking like me, like you feel me. She say stuff I say, or now we don't talk no more. I had this one female, like she used to like kind of like try to match energy, talk how I talk, and feed that back to me and sound like me type shit, and just do things that I did type shit. Like what I'm saying, like if I do something, she'll do it. And this is things women naturally do, but I'm trying to give y'all the game and realize like you don't gotta even be dating a female for them to start doing this. Like women naturally mirror or try to measure up to men in general. So I don't have females do this to me in school, like being popular females too. Like, you start talking to them, chilling around them, they kind of are curious minded. So they kind of just want to know like what type of nigga you is, like basically. But you gotta play off of that though, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like guys don't even see the shit I'm talking about. They don't look at it like this deep, so they don't really see the shit. But I'm telling y'all, this is like it was females in high school that I used to think was like cute and popular, but maybe my self esteem wasn't that high yet, or maybe I just didn't know what I was looking at the time. Like I didn't know like, but again, they would do little things and drop little handkerchiefs, like even just by like being around you, talking to you in the first place, like. But they'll let you know early on that hey, I'm feeling this, or I'm riding this wave, like, or oh, you got those Jordans, I got those same Jordans, like shit like that, like or again the fact that they even talk like y'all gotta become real professionals are just peeping shit that seems insignificant. Like that's what it really was. That I'm trying to say that I used to do. Like I used to like bypass all that shit. And if we wasn't in a direct conversation and I wasn't really trying to flirt with you, I wouldn't really know. I really wouldn't know type shit. So it'd be like insensible. I wouldn't be able to sense it like fully. Like I might obviously know, like obviously, but I'm not gonna do anything about it type shit. Like not necessarily. Depend on the female though. But I'm talking about them females you want to smash type shit. But anyway, your actions, and the way you dress, the way you like again, all your haircut and all that shit tie in to one big person or situation. Like it ties into everything because everything people always assume that, oh, you just like, because when I was young I would just get a haircut just because maybe like I seen like that was the thing to do, like get a haircut. Okay, we all get haircuts type shit. My father used to cut hair, like it was just traditional type shit, right? But as you become a real grown man, like tradition, it kind of like it's still there, but what you're doing is you're kind of like, well, you're questioning your heart, like, what do I want to do? Like, do I want to get a Wiz Khalifa patch, or do I want to like when I really question, like without all, like when I quiet all the noise and shit, like what do I want to do? And this is when you lean into your individuality. And this is when you really start getting women, because remember, they're curious creatures. So if you're doing things that other people just don't do, and not only that, but you're doing it from a real place. You're not doing it because you're trying to be better than nobody, or you're not trying to wow a female. You're just naturally just your own individual. Then yeah, you're naturally they're naturally gonna be curious about that. Yeah. But obviously, like I can't even explain the shit. It get deep. Um, the actions you take, like I said, actions. So, like I said, actions could be anything from like when I tell y'all I'm a lifestyle coach. Like so, whenever I get a client or just anybody, and they come to me for advice, I'm naturally the first thing I'm gonna say is like, yo, like create a daily schedule or weekly schedule, like Monday through Friday. What do you do? Like put the times in there and just like make things like, because like again, these are your actions, put hobbies, activities, and events, right? Hobbies, activities, events, right? uh personally personally put events last if you don't got no money, because events might, obviously you still want to do it, but that's more like the weekend, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday type shit. You got hobbies at the top and activities. So why are these things so important? These shits is like the fucking gold mine, or like a safe of like, this is where your life is gonna revolve around really. This is what a lot of guys don't realize. This is why I'm a lifestyle coach before anything, because women are not reliable. Like, and this is what society don't teach guys. Because what? Because 98% of guys are raised by a woman. So how can we say they're not reliable? Listen, number four, and we already talked about priorities. We talked about height, because when I said height, remember I talked about the height and how much you're stimulating her fucking ass. How much you're talking to her, how much you're calling her, how much you're really trying to get on her ass. Like these things, how quick are you trying to link up and set up that date? Like this is what I mean by when I say height. I'm not talking about your fucking height. I'm talking about, are you really captivating? Are you really, just like a sport. Like when I used to play basketball, like sometimes it wasn't, I mean, 95% of the time, it wasn't about always, well, nah, it is about how good you are too. But I mean, a big part of being good, is either you're really putting that fucking practice, But at some point, you're breaking a sweat. I remember I used to talk to like try to talk to this girl, man. Like she was like short. She was light skinned. She was cute and shit. And I'm in her inbox. I'm trying to this is back in the day though. I'm in her inbox. I'm trying to go with the move and shit. And I remember she was like, I said, yeah, 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 but like, damn, you don't write me back, you make me feel thirsty, like type shit. Like I told her flat like that, I'm young, I'm just saying any fucking thing. And she was one of them cocky looking light skinned chicks where it's like, yo, she really turned guys down all the time, but I'm just going with this move, like I'm like, fuck it. Um, and she was like, yeah, she said something like, if you're not, she said, if you're not chasing, then you're not trying. I'm like, damn. She was running game. Obviously, she fucked my mind up with the shit. But I was a young nigga. But I just kind of ended it on that note though. But at the time, I even knew like, bro, like she's saying like I'm too cocky for this shit. You're not about to hit me with no shit like that. But I did respect the fact that she was that damn cocky. And you know, it's funny because when we was younger, it was all these sayings around. You'll get some shit from Meek Mill, or you'll get some shit from a rap song, or you'll just literally use it in a real conversation. But she was like, "Yeah, if you're not trying, if you're not thirsty, you ain't trying." But she was right though, because a lot of times being like kind of thirsty, and that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's a thin line though. Like as we get older, bro, it's still the same game, bro. Like a lot of the women that guys be like knocking off the like charts, like they be knocking like a lot of these guys they be putting in overtime, and then you go up to her and get rejected, and then you just end it right there. But you don't know that the guy, David, that works with her at Foot Locker, was flirting with her for 10 months, 8 months, and finally knocked her down. Like you don't know that because you don't see those type of points on the board. But I'm just saying, like, this is real life, bro. Everything ain't commercial like how we making it. Like it's not that. I'm not saying how we making it, like I'm making it that way, but I'm saying like if I really just look at YouTube videos without these live, like, cause when I go live, I'm giving y'all backdrop shit. But like, if I just look at the videos for take it for face value, or take the game in general for face value, you're gonna go up to women and get shot down. That's literally how it's gonna happen, and you're gonna lose confidence. That's what's gonna actually happen. But what I'm saying is, shout out to three viewers, is that I had to learn that it's true, right? We're hunters by nature. Men are hunters. We're pursuers. So at the end of the day, you're not going to just walk away because she tell you you're not that guy. Like if she said, like, okay, bitch, you don't know me to tell me I'm not that guy. How the fuck do you think really America was built by people being told not to do some shit? It's like it just doesn't make any fucking biological sense for a man to accept a woman saying you're not him and actually think I'm gonna adopt the weaker creature's mind state. It's absolutely new age. It wasn't like that when I was younger, and it's not like that. And that's why I respected when Shorty was like, if you ain't sweating, you ain't trying, or if you ain't thirsty, you ain't trying. She was a good looking female, so that's why she understood that concept. She understood that, and I'm a good looking nigga. I understand the concept too. With some women in middle school, I had to really pursue, and it took a little bit of time, but I got things out of the interaction because I stayed in the game. You know what I'm saying? And that art is lost, man. That art is lost. I call it an art now, but back then it was just science. It would just be going after what I want, like what I'm saying. And that shit is new now. Everything now is kind of different, but it's the same though because when you see a female, you still want her. But at what height? That's the last thing I wrote right there, and it's still highlighted. At what height are you trying to get her? Because you know things of tradition never really get old. Like if I'm somebody's father and a guy's pursuing my daughter, there's two types of guys. There's a guy who's gonna be an asshole and break up with her, break her heart. But then there's a guy who really wanted he's really just trying to get you. Like he really means he's sincere. And what I'm saying is that there's probably a lot of nuanced guys and shit, but I'm talking about these two basic guys right here, guy A, guy B. And your intentions are your own intentions, but the energy you're putting into what you want, that doesn't get old, because women naturally are going to give a shot to a guy who's actually trying. Like, if you're just part-time trying, like you see a female, you do it here, there, like, yeah, she might be like, oh, he's cute, and yeah, I would do this, but it never gets old to really, what they call it, um, to woo a female. That's what it's called. It's called wooing a female. Bro, that shit, that's romantic. Like, you're wooing a female, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about energy you're putting in. And at what height are you doing that? Are because women are bulletproof, ready to see bullshit. So if you're not coming with that energy, then it's fucked. And that's what I'm saying. So you got different types of women. You got women, you go to the mall, you might see a female you never seen before. This might be the first and last time. You can't really, I mean, you can woo her by saying certain shit. Like, I seen a dating coach earlier. He said something like, he was doing an infield video, and he told the female, he said, as soon as he walk up on females, the first thing he say is, "What's up, my queen," or something like that. Or, no, he said, "What's up?" Not my queen, my wifey. What's up, my wife? Yeah, my wife. And it'd be a stranger female, but it's like, what's up, my wife? Or what's up, wife? Or some shit like that. But it shows confidence, and it kind of works, because the way women think, like, what I'm saying, kind of works. It's kind of woven into what they want to hear, and it's kind of woven into it works. It's got to do with their feelings and shit. And it kind of gives me that energy that I'm talking about that I had when I was younger, as far as just like, you'll a woman ain't have to do much for you to show her, like, yo, you know, I'm really trying to crush your shit. So now, but like nowadays, it's kind of like just a different vibe out here. But that's really what I mean when I say, at what height are you willing to go? Because again, that shit matters, man. I don't care what nobody say. Because this is where it get misconstrued. Is it thirsty, or is it actually effort? I'm gonna make some videos on that shit, because men tend to think that you can't be in this phase right here. They think you can't be in this phase right here and still be what you call it. I forgot what I was about to say. They think that they can't be showing effort without looking thirsty. That's why they're not fucking. That's why it's exactly why they can't fuck. Because it's not what height. You okay, here's the term. How far are you willing to go? Pussy is not the prize, because when I was in middle school, Shorty, I thought she was fire, and I was just going after her just because I just thought she was just bad. Like, I thought I wanted to really fuck with her. So I wasn't even trying to, like, I wasn't even thinking about sex really. Like, that was kind of in, like, somewhere in my mind, but it wasn't really in the forefront. So women they could smell that, they feel that, they could tell, like, type shit. So it's like, and it plays into your mystery as well. My mystery was really high. It was naturally high. And yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, that's how that shit works. That's how that shit works. So again, I'm gonna go back to the other point. You got hobbies, activities, and events. Are you are you actually adding things into these boxes? Number one is hobbies. Number two is activities, and number three is events. You might not have many events. You might go to Google and type in free events near me. But even then, you might not have a card. So then you gotta have a jar and put fucking change in the shit every fucking time you buy something. You don't got money to buy anything. So you're just fucking stuck at a dead end and shit. But what you can do is put that shit on hold and create um, cost friendly hobbies and activities. You could kind of ride off of those long enough until you get a job or get some type of income or just create a life, indirectly creating a life. You can just, like, again, hobbies and activities could be riding a bike. It could be walking to the beach, walking to the park. It could be yoga. I'm heavy in, I'm not gonna say heavy into it, but I appreciate yoga. That's one of my own hobbies. Is it an activity or a hobby? I don't know. It's like, I think it's both. I don't know. But I like yoga, right? So naturally, if I'm doing that and I'm leaning towards that, then technically that's going to take on eventually. If I do that for 4 or 5 times, technically that's going to take on a life of its own. And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. If the things I'm doing, I'm actually doing versus me saying I want to do something. No, I'm actually pushing the chips forward. I'm putting the energy into what I'm talking about. Then as a byproduct of that, I'm naturally not going to chase you. Naturally not going to chase you. And I don't got time to play games either. So naturally what happens, I'm going to show you what happens in the chat. Naturally my mystery goes up. And this is why I say effort versus thirst does not matter. It's if your mystery goes up, you're going to come across in a different way, inadvertently. You're not even going to know it probably, but because you listen to me, you might be able to put two and two together. Your mystery goes up for a couple reasons. You don't have time. Yeah, baby, I want to take you out. I'm gonna take you out this day. What made him so sure to take me out that day? Oh yeah, because when she really end up unpacking it, you really had to go to yoga class and shit. You really had to hit the gym, the next day, and then the next day you really had to go to downtown to watch a movie, with your friends. That's three things that you had to do that didn't have shit to do with getting no pussy. But it could result in you getting some, but it doesn't really have anything to do with it. So now you have a whole life operating over here, and she don't know how to really get into that or penetrate that. But what she do know is that, again, to go back to number two, I think the way you're talking to her is what we're that's what's going to change the game. So by you having a life plus the way you're talking to her, and this is real simple shit, but I'm just breaking this shit down in my own little way. Like, having a life plus how you're talking to is gonna literally make her say, "Damn, this guy must be somebody. He must be." Now, again, she can still choose to say, "I don't give a fuck him." They always got that choice. That's what I'm trying. That's a no brainer, bro. They always got that choice. They always got that choice. But I'm trying to get y'all to see that they always got that choice. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing that stopped y'all the most is y'all don't think that they should be not fucking with you. So it kind of becomes like a blistering thing because it's like you shouldn't have any feelings towards what don't have any feelings towards you. That's basically what it is. So I'm kind of demystifying and giving y'all the science. I'm science proofing um, the roller coaster ride, not the bedroom and all the sexy shit that you could do to make it like more of a roller coaster. Like, I'm not giving y'all the game as far as like do this move and do that move and do that. I'm giving y'all what's really biologically going to set her up. Like when the roller coaster first is doing that, it's going up, you know. Uh, but besides that, it's many different ways to. There's many different ways to bring excitement and make her excited and shit like that. Like once y'all go out on a date and once you're texting her the right way and shit like that, it's just gonna naturally kind of like go that way. But there is things you can do like to like um, evoke uh, stimuli. That's really all really uh, amusement parks do. Like what I'm saying. All amusement parks do is it make women feel like they're on top of it. Like it makes them feel like very like I can't wait to see him because blah 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 blah. And again, now we're getting further into the sexual shit because once you reach these levels that we just went over, you should be in the clear. Right? Like I said, you physically touched her, da 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 da. You did all that shit. You shook her hand from the beginning. You approached her like a man, like all this shit, and you got a life. You know what I'm saying? You're flirty. Like I said, height, which is not physical height, it's more so like at what height are you flirting with her? Is it low flirting? Is it medium, or is you really fucking flirting with her? If you really flirting with her, then it's like she's gonna be kind of like anticipating, right? Right. So she got her tickets. It's like she got her tickets to go to the fucking amusement park. But you know, when you get on a date, the shit that you do on a date, the shit that you do on a date is the amusement park. The shit before the date is the amusement park. How you talk to her before the day of the date, then the actual date. When you first see her, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? How are you gonna fucking feel? Matter of fact, what are you gonna eat? Because when I went on dates, I ain't been on a date in a little minute, and my scooter fucking broke. But when I was going on dates, I would either not eat anything at all, so I was fasting, or I'll eat like fucking maybe an apple or some shit. And it's like it shit bulletproof me. Like it was like I just naturally just had like that vibe, like take it or leave it type shit. Like you gotta have that, bro, in life in general, but especially on a fucking date, because you can't impress somebody if they feel like you're not impressive. This is just the bottom line. Like if they look at you and they feel like your energy is low, like my shit kind of low right now. I've been talking for like a fucking hour, but it's impressive to have your energy be high. That's impressive, and especially in today's day, that's probably the most impressive thing a person could do is keep their energy high. Because what people are naturally thinking is, why are you so cocky? So if your energy, if your energy deduces, then they're like, okay, well, shit, he's not special or she's not special. But if your energy either stays the same or goes up, you have energy control over your own energy. Your triggers or shit that stress you out. Shit that induces your energy and keeps you at high energy. Then you can overcome a lot of battles that way in the dating world because women are energy vamp. Well, not all of y'all, not all of y'all, but women kind of like feed off of the man's energy. So you gotta be self. Um, I don't know if the word is concluded. 'Cause that shit. I think that means something else also. But self concluded meaning like You gotta have a conclusion about self. You gotta be have self-esteem and self-awareness. Like, what am I going to eat before the date? What am I going to eat on the date and after the date? If whatever, like pre-date, after date, whatever. And if you got like a meal to eat, like for me, it'd probably be a green apple or some shit, or an orange or some shit. Not an orange. It doesn't really smell like an orange, but like a green apple or some shit. Just to simmer my energy, and then just go on a date and vibe, talk. Now that I've ate that little meal or little lunch or brunch or whatever, little apple, I can just vibe, like, and just chill and talk, like, for real. It's just like kind of like I don't gotta worry about, is my energy low, or is this like this, or is that like that. Like, I don't gotta think about any of that, right? I could just go off the natural vibe, just talk. And again, you'll be surprised that that little difference is making such a fucking difference that it doesn't even make any fucking sense. It doesn't even make any sense. Who would think that a fucking apple is making me Prince Charming versus some fucking thirsty loser? Who would think that? It's literally the difference right there when I said effort versus thirst. If you got low energy and you're around her, you're draining. She's gonna feel that. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna trigger something in her mind, and then her mind's gonna say, "What do he want from me?" Subconsciously, that's gonna bubble up because she can feel the needy energy. So, what do he want from you? And once that boil up to the surface, she's gonna actually see through those lenses and be like, even if she don't say it, she like, I don't know if I want to, I don't. Something's not right about this. That's what's gonna happen. She's gonna feel like that, and you don't want her to feel like that. If anything, you want her to feel like, man, the opposite. You're thinking that, like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna give you this. I don't know how you gonna do that if your energy ain't right. Shout out to Miles Cunningham. He always talk about diets and eating in the day game and shit like that. Like, that's real shit. All the fucking warriors back in the day knew about certain things pertaining to the spiritual and things like that. Even football coaches, they're like, yeah, don't waste don't do this or don't do that. All of this shit matters. It's all energy, bro. At the end of the day, men who take care of their energy will always be more attractive than guys who are fucking just like slothful and just weird. So yeah, that's really, I ain't gonna say that's everything, but think, just make the fucking metaphor or the comparison. Really think about a high energy guy, and then think about an amusement park, and then think about a fucking turtle or a sloth, and then think about the graveyard. I mean, these shits have so much in common because every guy I knew in high school that was really getting girls, they were outgoing. They were outgoing, and you could be that way too. Because energy, not only is it free, it's manageable, and it's transferable. So energy can be transmuted. That's why the dating coach Ross Jeffries talks about he was into a lot of different things. He talks about like meditation. He said something like, what would you call it? Something ritual. I forgot. I wrote it down, but I lost that the note. Something ritual. Excuse me.
Duh.
Burping is healthy too,
Duh.
because typically when you're burping,
Yeah.
that's a sign that you ate something you wasn't supposed to eat, and it's coming out. Black said, I thought this had Bruce at first for some reason, but Black said, can you go over effort versus thirst one more time? I just got in. Effort versus thirst. I kind of freestyled on that. That was like a freestyle one, but it's just like effort is energy, and we're still kind of talking about energy anyway, but like effort is energy. Two E words, right? E. E. Any word that starts with E typically relates to energy. If you just go down a list like energy, enthusiasm, effort, uh, elastic, uh, emotion, uh, mm-hmm. Eon. Now I don't know any that starts with an I, but any word that starts with an E is probably is going to be related to energy. When you think about the word effort, the old me in middle school, young and full of energy. When I seen a girl and I thought she was really pretty, I was gonna put in effort, but not for 1 second. And even if she got the thought, like, man, he's a little thirsty, it wasn't gonna kill the vibe. It wasn't gonna kill it. It was still gonna maintain stature. Like he's trying. Okay, he's putting in work. He's trying to get me. Like he's trying to get me. Like and back then, I mean, I could be wrong, but women had more respect or more of an admiration for that type of energy. But even today, even with the broken society that we live in, women still understand like that. I mean, here's the thing about it. If you're seeing a female and you're letting it be known every time you see her that, hey, I'm trying to get with you, like, what's up, like, blah, 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 you're putting it on, like, okay, you're making it to where even if she don't like you, she's gonna go in the house and think about you. That's just naturally how humanistic behavior is. Like even me right now, if it's a female, I don't even like her. I think she's ugly as fuck, whatever, fat, all type of shit. But every time I go out the house, she's like trying to like seduce me and shit. It's a natural consequence. Like when I go in the house, it could just pop up in my mind right now, out of nowhere. Like damn, like what if she my soulmate, but I'm not really trying to fuck with nobody fat or some shit. Like it just she's renting space in my mind rent free. Now it could be considered as thirsty because again, if I don't want you and I justified it to myself that I don't want you, then I can see it. I got free will. About if I allow myself to see it some way. But remember, it's only a thought, and a thought ain't powerful. A thought is not powerful. A thought is not powerful. A subconscious belief is. So she could think that you thirsty or that it's effort, but what I'm saying is one tends to stand out over the other. Effort. If a woman, if you're saying, okay, here's the fucking odd thing in game. If I take my phone and I send a message and it sparks an emotion there, meaning it's a likable message. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me, but it's a likable message. Then biologically and by nature, something inside of her will ruminate or move, almost like magic or like almost like some type of fucking magic or some shit. Because it's about the subconscious and it depends on how she feel. It's like it's either gonna make it through or not. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. It's either gonna make it through or not, bro. Like thirst is a fucking new age term. Like that shit wasn't even around in the 80s, like or even in the 90s. Like that shit is new. So effort is everything. You gotta put in effort. And again, even if it depends on. To me personally, it depends on where you put your effort. Because for me, like right now, this is collaterally gonna me being a YouTuber is gonna collaterally put money in my pocket at some point. If it's put money in my pocket, I might go on more dates based on me having more money. But it could be technically it could be seen many different ways by whoever's looking at. I think that's just my stance on life in general. I always looked at life that way, right? Not non-biased approach because we're just visitors, bro. We're just visitors, so I don't take a stance on certain things. It's like, yeah, it's separate, but it's this. I mean, it's separate, but it's like, cause I had this female tell me like a couple years ago, like I'm trying to talk to her in the inbox, and I'm like, yo, you making me feel thirsty, like you making me feel like I'm chasing you type shit. And what she said was, if you're not thirsty, then you're not trying. That was a little humorous. It was a little joke, but it was still like it was like it played with my mind a little bit. Like, damn, she was cocky and shit. But I could tell like a lot of guys was trying to talk to her at that time in life, and I was, she didn't know me that well, and she's like, well, let me say this smooth ass shit to him. But you know, I took that though because like I remember many times, bro, I wouldn't have got, you don't get what you don't want. Like if you don't try, if you're not really trying, like there've been times where I was in middle school, I told my girl cousin like, oh, who that girl on the back of the bus? Da, 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 da. Like, and my girl cousin had to, oh, you want me to call her? I got her number. Da, da. Called her, let her know I liked her, and then I'm listening to the conversation. Then I get out, everything the day end, whatever. I see her on the bus the next day. I just start like I let her know that I liked her, not to her face, like through that situation. But as we're on the bus, I might not say nothing to her. But then when we got off the bus, I noticed that look, her grandmother lived upstairs from me, type shit. So I would just naturally just like I don't know, like I would open up conversation while we're walking back to the crib. Oh, you live right here? Da, 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 da. Your grandmother live right here? She like it was just naturally kind of unrolling on some funny shit. But I honestly feel like um this is why people use choosing signals because it just makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with a boatload of women that you basically are being pre-selected by, versus somebody who's just randomly shooting at women who's probably showing him that they're not interested from the beginning, it makes it more deceptive because you're trying to get something you can't get or that you can get, but you got to put in like it's like the difference between somebody who's working at a job and everyone who's working there don't want to see you succeed, or everyone working there don't want to see you climb the charts and shit. And then you could just go across the street and get a job, and then they'll let you in and make you the manager. The treatment is just different. So if the treatment is different, then it's just that's life. Like why would you eat? If you could catch two fish, one look better, but it's not, but it's poisonous, and then one look worse, but it's like good for you. I mean, you should probably eat the one that's healthy for you. But like everything in this world nowadays is backwards, man. Like everything is backwards. Like so, it's like again, but that rule stays the same. Like 18 and above. If you're 18 and above, you guys need to understand that who is giving you energy. When you go outside every day, you're making your approaches, you're talking to females. Okay, well, do you really know who your type is? Do you really know? Because I mean, based on my relationships in the past, like you know, the strong relationships that I had, like women that made it easy for me. Like so, if I was to go off of my past, I would literally look at that like some women naturally they're gonna they're gonna hurl themselves at you. Like maybe you're not going outside enough, maybe you're not in those territories where that shit happens. So that's why, if your life, and that's why I say I'm a lifestyle coach first, if your life doesn't have no fluidity in it, then you're really not seeing it the same way that someone else is seeing it. And if you're not seeing it the same way someone else is seeing it, but you hop online and talk to someone else who's seeing it another way, that's what's happening. That's where the questions come. Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Where someone else just naturally go outside, they see how to do it. That's the difference. And that's what, to answer your question, that's the difference between thirst and effort. Because naturally, if you're always outside, you're not going to be thirsty because what you're going to say to yourself is, I don't want to look like the thirsty guy. So let me calm the fuck down. But if you're rarely going outside and you know you're probably not going to see them people again, you're probably not even going to even think twice to about anything really, because it really doesn't matter if you're thirsty or not. It just doesn't really matter. The only thing you got to lose is, oh well, it really just, you know, this girl got pissed off today type shit. But if you really know, like, okay, um, I go outside all the time, maybe not in the same exact spot, but I'm always kind of like maneuvering or making some type of moves, you're naturally gonna pick up on, or not maybe for some people, but or it might take a long time, but you may get it. Like, hey, this shit ain't a social norm right here. Like it took me a minute to even figure out like choosing signals because I never really looked at that. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing it, and now that I'm seeing it, it's like, oh shit, I can either try to talk to this bitch or talk to that bitch. But if I never really paid no attention, I'll probably just go straight at the one that ain't really paying me no attention. Because typically she gonna be the badder one. But that one's bad too. But you just gotta pay attention and you gotta see that. And I think that'll solve a lot of things because life is mathematics at the end of the day. So the fact that you know it makes sense. The fact that somebody, if they're attracted to you, there's signals and signs. I'm not saying that you should always ride off of that, but it'd be kind of like, in my opinion, it'd be kind of ignorant to not see it. Like that's just my opinion, though. So that's what I think is the difference between effort and thirst. Like you should be putting in effort for people who's putting in effort. You get it? Like put in effort. But if you're looking at the choosing signals, then technically the signal goes off. You see the signal, but then you really wanted to talk, or not even really wanted to. That's an overstatement. You seen a room full of women. You walk in the room full of women. You're minding your fucking business. You're going in there to get your fucking burrito. So you're chilling, which makes you more attractive, by the way. And then what will happen is if you're reading the room, one woman out of your peripheral vision will make themselves more visible for some odd reason. And that's probably the girl that's trying to get crushed. That's just how that shit, that's just what's going on. But guys aren't reading the room because they're not actually into social dynamics deep enough to actually pay attention enough to see what's going on. So when you see that, you kind of know like, okay, she's trying to, even if she's not trying to get crushed, like she's still kind of, that's kind of, to me personally, a choosing signal because women are indirect, so you really wouldn't know, but unless you fucking try to figure it out. So yeah, man, that's how I see that shit. Because remember, energy is a number. It's a frequency. It's a number. You can't really waste it on everybody. So you kind of gotta make a decision. You kind of gotta make a decision. And a man knows how and when to do that all the time. So that's basically what I'm looking at right now. There's no way I'm going to waste my time or my energy on somebody who's not, you know, um, going to transfer that shit back. It's like putting your money in a fucking broken machine. Oh, I'm trying to win. Oh, I'm trying to win. Oh, I'm trying to win. And the machine, like, we're out of service. We're out of service. And then you go back to the crib, man. I need some of that money. I don't know where my money went. You know, you need your energy too. You need your energy so you can make videos, or you can make music, or you can make, job interviews, or so you can just do many different things. So what time do I got to go get shot down by a female who really, you might not even get turned down because she don't want you. She may really just have a man, or she may be loyal, or some other shit. Like, so it's like it's just just a thing that makes a big difference, man. So that's just the way this shit really rock and roll, man. That's the way this shit rock and roll. And if you want to be exciting, there's many more tips. I should make a short on this tomorrow, but high energy, man. I think it's certain thoughts you fire off in your mind, certain thoughts, think certain thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Say certain stuff to yourself. Um, Stay in a good mood. Stay optimistic. Good positive mood, bro. That shit breaks me. Fuck. That shit breaks women because they just don't get it. They just don't get it, man. They just don't get it, man. Why is he like that? Who is he? Why do he think like this? Why do you know? I'm about to get out of here though, man. This is just amusement part. I'm gonna make probably a part two, basically on like some of the deeper stuff. But this is just, you gotta be amusing. And again, to go a little bit into the flirting thing, just flirt. Like, work on your mouthpiece when you're not around the female all the time. Because when you get in front of that female, if you're flirting, again, at what height are you flirting? If I'm flirting and I'm rapid firing flirting, I'm talking like literally knocking her over the head with flirt, like with different shit. Yeah. She gonna be like, damn, like, like she gonna feel like she's kind of like she gonna feel something. If I set out to make her blush, or if I set out to make her smile, I'm like, damn, girl, your smile, like, damn, where my shades at? I need my shades because your smile, like, you know what I'm saying? You're bright, you got a bright ass smile. So, like, but that's kind of corny for her, but like, I'm just saying, like, say I say that to make her smile, and then I say something else on top of that, and I say something else. How can she call it thirsty if it's not really thirsty? If I'm just saying, I'm just stacking shit. See, thirst is like more so like it's like you're trying to get something from somebody. But if I'm just flirt after flirt after flirt, that's gonna make more so charm her or knock her off her feet, if anything. So I'm just trying to show you that. So that's why you should really be every day, all day, just like trying to like work on your mouthpiece, stay out the way, stay true to yourself as far as your diet, your thoughts. Be conservative or preservative with your shit. And then when you get around a female, it's gonna be easy. And you're really gonna be a mystery. You're really gonna be charming because you're gonna be like, I don't know why he's even A, confident, and B, got the confidence to talk to me, and C, actually making sense and saying some fly shit. You don't even gotta touch a female sometime though. Like, make her wanna touch you based on how good your mouthpiece is. That's the first test that you should have to yourself. Like, can I make her wanna touch me without me touching her? Like, that's important. If you can get that down, you can do anything. I also been getting into storytelling a little bit lately. Like, telling stories is like one good way to really, really just It's one good way to really just. I think of it like this: telling stories is the sneakiest way to charm somebody. Like between telling stories, push pull, between telling stories, between telling stories, push pull, and uh, like I just said, making her laugh and all this shit. Like if you come in and you're telling stories, oh, all right. So stories is so important. I'm gonna make a whole live on this probably tomorrow. Stories work like a fucking charm, if you ask me, because no one's gonna. And this is what I noticed. No one's gonna ask you for a story, but stories are notorious for making people feel like they know you. I need to cut this shit, man. This shit is fucking bothering me right now. Look how long this shit is, man. And this shit, believe it or not, this shit longer than this. Every dread on my head is longer than what it looked like. But stories are notorious for rapport and making someone really feel like or think that they know you. You could decipher that whatever way you want to put it. But stories to me mean so much because they kind of just show that like, hey, I'm sharing something. Like, and that's kind of like, in my opinion, like A is seductive, but B is like just kind of like almost like important. Like if everything you're always saying is just like in the moment and just like kind of like curt and short, how are you really moving somebody anywhere? Like how are you really like how are you really like I don't know, stories are powerful. If you was to look at an ocean, flirting is like the waves of and like more towards the shore. Like yeah, it can get you some pussy, but like when you're like telling stories, it's like you're going like it's like powerful. Like it's like moving people. Like it's a different type of vibe. So I feel like I mean some of the most profound speakers I know, like they tell stories so quick and effortlessly. It's like they just kind of like how I'm talking right now, and they kind of just like go directly into a story. It's like they go directly into it without even fucking questioning it. And they're like, yeah, and 3 years ago, you know, we tried to do everything we could do, and you know, it was like, we went here and we went there, and when we went over here, things felt better, and things were, they have a way with words, and that's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna really make a video on this. I'm not gonna let this topic go. This is the last thing, man. And this is really the last thing, actually. Thank God I even made it here to this part because, I mean, if you can master stories, you can really be powerful. But you have to understand one thing and one thing only, or one concept that I have. Like, you have to understand how to get the stories off. It's like, remind me of basketball. Like, you can't just shoot the basketball every time you touch it. Obviously, you can. There's no rule that says you can't. But it's not fundamental. You kind of want to dribble and get your opponent. off of you, or just enough to get a little window so you can shoot. If you watch Kobe Bryant will always do that. He'll do some move to get you a little bit of a window, just enough to shoot. And that's what you're doing when you're getting the story off. You're like, what moves do I make first to set up telling this story? So say I want to tell a story about a female from my old neighborhood that, was attractive. And then another question is like, why would you tell that story? Like, why would you tell that story? Like, who are you talking to when you're telling that story? Some type of audience, or maybe like, how does that transfer to pickup? Is what I'm saying. That's why I say most of the pickup you're going to do is going to be one on one. But sometimes, especially with indirect game, say you're at the gym, you may be talking to either one of your bros, or you may be talking to the guy at the kiosk or some shit. And that's your moment, right? Moments where there's like either multiple people. Stories could be powerful, like more with multiple people, in my opinion. Uh, from my personal experience, if you try to tell stories like one on one, they can work, especially if the person that you're talking to respects you. But if they don't, then you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. But that doesn't mean stop learning and working on storytelling, because just in general, it's a beautiful skill to have. Because if you get better and better at storytelling, you can do it to damn near about anybody, and it'll just captivate and pull. It'll pull them, like I said, like the ocean, the waves of an ocean. It'll just kind of like pull them into the sea, literally, not SEA, SEE. It'll pull them into sea. See who you are, you know. And that's what you're telling stories for. You're telling stories to get them to see who you are, right? You're always telling stories, but the stories they have things embedded in them. And when you know about pickup, you know about DHVs. You're demonstrating higher value. So if I tell a story about a girl coming over my house, you know, that's the DHV story, demonstrate higher value. I tell a story about a girl coming over my house with her cousin. Okay, well, what was it about a girl coming over your house with her cousin? Well, her cousin looked it better than her, but her cousin was preoccupied with the bro because we just were on a two man before two man was two man, and and he had to take care of that, and I was you know on my solo dolo mission in the room, and the lights were out, but it was just enough, and again, learning the story to yourself. You might have the information, but you don't see it as a story. So you gotta kind of piece it together for yourself. And then you gotta kind of learn details. And people could pretty much, for the most part, picture a lot of the stuff that you say, even if you're not the best storyteller. You just give it someone information, people just like cops. If cops show up to a crime scene, they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And you're like, "Oh, the person ran that way." You're basically telling the story, but you're not necessarily doing it from a position of like, you're not doing it from a position of art. Like, he had on a black ski mask, but what about the black ski mask, right? This is where poetry helps me. Like, he had on, I don't know, you got to be descriptive, but you also got to be like, and when I'm talking about like the story. You got to be descriptive, but you also got to be kind of like, in my opinion, like you want to kind of like, a story could be told any way, but there is a way to tell it to make it more captivating. Let's just put it like that. Let's just put it like that. And most of the time in game, you're trying to say it in a way where, um, in a social setting, a social circle, like type deal, like, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe a female comes over to your house and you decide like, I want to tell a story today instead of just being flirting and just, you know push pull and all that shit. I kind of want to get, seductive with a story. and you know that you can do that. You know, you can do that. You can set up the story, you can tell the story, and embed things in the story that do that. You know, I didn't. You know, it's funny when she came over to my place. You know, I was sure she wanted to. You know, I wasn't sure if she wanted to really do it or not. However, you know, uh, however, that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to get into. Get into. I wanted to get into it. I wanted to get straight to. I wanted to do that. Right. These are like um, embedded commands uh, inside of the story. Uh, and you could use like verbs, right? Actionable verbs, like so you can use sexy verbs like thrust, like you know, the lights were off, and something about thrusting, like something you use the word like you could just use words, man. You could tell stories, bro. You could do this shit, but that's next level game and shit. The storytelling shit is just a little bit. I mean, it's not really next level. It's really basic, fundamental, but it's like you want to excite her mind. And then when it comes to questions, you never want to ask a closed-ended question. You want to ask open-ended questions. Where, what, who, why, and when, and how. But I'm about to get out of here, man. See y'all in the next video, man. See y'all, man. I'm out, man. This was a good video. 3 hours, damn near. I'm out, man. See y'all.